With the way the previous two fights had went, was there any sort of determination ahead of time that this was going to be either judged differently or paid attention to differently going into it ahead of time?
Well, at the rules meeting, they were very strict. The representative from the International Sport Kickboxing Association went through the rules, and he reminded everybody about clinching, about holding, about what the rules were, when points would be deducted, and he was very clear and said, you know, we know this is the kind of fights that we could expect, and here are the rules, and here's what's going to take place, and here's how it's going to happen, and to expect points to be deducted when the rules were violated.
Have you guys ever seen anybody walk out like that?
I remember Roberto Duran doing it, right? No Mas?
Long time ago, yeah. Do you guys think would be something that would happen to the future?
No, yeah, it's never happened in glory, and you know, my own personal career is 20 years in combat sports, including boxing supervisor for the Olympics. I've actually never been in a situation where an athlete walked out of a fight.
Would this at all affect Dustin Jacoby in his tournament win, or would he get the next shot against Simon, regardless of the situation with Harden?
Of course, probably the right person.
Well, it depends on. We have a rule. We can take the one guy out of the top three for challenger champion, or we can take the contender winner. So we have more opportunities now, and we will decide on after this fight with who will be the first one. A guy out of the top three, or we take the contender winner. But definitely, Dustin Jacoby will get a title shot.
His next fight will be a title shot. We just don't know.
Yeah, if Dustin is fighting, then he will get a title shot. But it could also be that we have another guy selected. It depends on what is the time, who is available. But Dustin will get the title shot for sure. Versus Simon Marcus or another champion if we have another fight before that.
See a pretty unprecedented to see a fighter take 2 points deduction in a fight in separate rounds, and then each time refuse to fight and almost quit the second round.
Well, he looked like he quit the second round.
Right, exactly. He waved it off and then he took
Yeah.
a punch and the fight kept
Came
going.
back.
And his refusal to fight and tie up. Going forward, do you think you're going to try and get something like maybe like settle, like maybe wait for Arden to kind of calm down, talk to him, try and get him to fight again, maybe a guy in the top three, and just see maybe you can work him back up, or you think he might refuse to just negotiate for a moment, you know, with how, because there was a lot of bad blood with this.
It's very difficult to say now because everybody is very sensitive and in emotion. I think if everything's calmed down, of course we're going to say that he still has a contract with us.
Right.
So he refused to continue today, and I hope he's not refusing to continue in glory, but we will see, you know.
I think it's important to remember that at Glory 21 in San Diego, when they last fought, there was a point deduction for the exact same thing. And the referee was criticized after the fact and all over social media for not deducting another point and just continually warning and warning and warning. And now people are upset because another point was deducted.
And as we said, we explained everything at the rules meeting. We were very clear. We expected a lot of clinching, and the representative from the ISKA brought the topic up and faced everybody with it and made them clear that they were going to deduct points for clinching, deduct points for breaking the rules. So Marcus and Levin both came into this fight knowing what the situation was with the referees.
As we're speaking about title shots, especially in this division, saw something earlier. Is it true that Joe Schilling would potentially be offered a title shot?
Yeah, but of course, one of
We can,
three. Yeah,
we can, but see it like this. We have Joe Schilling on the card today. It was a last-minute negotiation because we were still in negotiation. We didn't finalize the whole negotiation. The time was too short, and it's obvious that if we give him a title shot, there is a chance that he becomes a champion. That we want to use him again. So we still need to have some conversation with him if he continue with us and signs a long form after LA. Now, normally he's now supposed to fight in Los Angeles. That's what is scheduled, and it can be a title shot. He's the number one still, so it can be a title shot. But it's depending also on him and his team if they sign with us. Because it makes no sense to give him a title shot and then he's leaving Glory.
with a title shot comes some responsibilities to defend your title.
Yeah.
So with the recent announcement that he's along with Bellator of a new kickboxing organization, and Joe Schilling was at that conference when it was announced, do you think that might have like some sway in the contract? Do you think are you guys going to work hand in hand with them?
We have no problem by him fighting for Bellator. I mean, as long as he stays fighting for glory,
So
if he's the champion. Because I think, look at it in this way, and I think Joe is pretty close to maybe the end of his career. Maybe he fights 1 or 1.5 more year. And I can understand. I was a fighter, I was a manager. I can understand that he wants to make his money. And beside the money, a fighter also needs the rhythm. And in glory, we cannot give every fighter 6 fights a year. So we should allow to give fighters some opportunity to fight for other organizations. But with a champion, we want to have the guarantee that he's also fighting for our organization. So that's the deal. So we're not blocking him from fighting for Bellator, but make a fair deal with us.
So
And I think they're
possible,
open to that still.
So with possible contract negotiations, probably end up maybe you guys even speaking to Coker and everything, going on Bellator saying, hey, you know, if he comes up and fights with us for a champ, you know, is it all right? You know, if we work something out because he's champ over in glory, you might want to take your guy from a fight and everything. You know, if we work out maybe the scheduling with both. You know,
Well, yeah, we're open to talk to.
We're open to all possibilities as long as we can use him.
Right.
Yeah. We don't block him for fight for another organization, but it's normal that we can use him, that we can use our champion.
Right.
How do you guys view the level of competition in kickboxing? I know we mentioned many times on our show that 2016 seems to be like a banner year for kickboxing. It's making a sort of a resurgence. How do you guys feel about the increased competition amongst the sport of kickboxing?
So if you look at our middleweight division, for example, there are so many great athletes and so many great fighters. So that's, you know, a tribute to what you just said, and, you know, a lot of great athletes. And Bellator coming in and, you know, doing some kickboxing events, you know, I think that's a great thing because more people are going to see kickboxing. More people see kickboxing. When you come to town, more people are going to want to buy tickets. So we're not going to be in the same city on the same night. So, you know, I think it's a good thing that, you know, more exposure for the sport, more people see it, more people get excited about it.
Was that a
You know,
surprise?
we want to expand, you know, kickboxing.
Was that a surprise to you when Bellator made the announcement? Did you guys know that?
It wasn't a surprise to us.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think it confirms that we have a great sport, and for me personally, my life is bringing this sport on a big platform to show everybody what great athletes we have and what a great sport we have. Now, Bellator stepping into kickboxing, that's proving that we have a great sport because it's a great product. And beside of that, I see the level of the American fighters growing. You know, and I saw, for example, in the welterweight category, I saw today the guy Abraham. He did a pretty good performance. So we have new opponents also in America for guys like Ambang, for Casey Green, you know, and those division will grow slowly to the top to face the champion. I'm happy to that, and so if I see it overall in America, kickboxing is really coming up now. And I think that also potential talent will think, hey, there is another sport beside of MMA, we can do so kickboxing, because there is a market and there is a platform and there is some money and a career.
And now with our relationship with the UFC, we're bringing it to more people. We're bringing it to MMA fans. We're showing the world a global platform that UFC has, you know, been able to reach, and we're joining that platform with them. So we're reaching out to more and more fans all over the world with kickboxing.
Talk about that a little bit and how that whole thing came about, and if it was a long process or if it was...
We've been talking, obviously, to everyone in combat sports, and we've been talking to the UFC for, you know, many months, and trying to come up with a plan that worked for them and worked for us. And it seemed that putting the Super Fight series on Fight Pass was a great way to enter into a relationship with them. They're looking for more and more live programming. Live programming, you know, it's the reality. It's sports. Live sports is the ultimate reality show. And they're looking for live programming. We're looking for exposure. We're the top kickboxing league. They're the top MMA league. It just seemed like a natural fit for us to get together and do something together. And it's a great start to the relationship. They're really promoting Glory Super Fight heavily and a lot of their different platforms. If you watched the UFC fight last weekend, they were talking about Glory coming up on Fight Pass. So it's a whole new level of exposure to MMA fans and mainstream sports fans to come and see Glory, come and see kickboxing. So we're pretty excited about it.
Earlier in the night, Mario Dennis took a video of Nancy Navarro. Do you have any word on how he's doing?
He's fine. I spoke to him.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Well, my experience in sport, in this sport, is a heel kick is always a heavy knockout. I always say when I was still as a trainer, it's nice to practice, but please don't do it in sparring, because if it hits somebody, even if you're wearing a helmet, it's a knockout. It's tough. And it was a good technique. I feel sorry for the Mario, but he's doing okay.
Yeah.
I checked it immediately after.
I was gonna say, with his win over Demario, and of course he had Anderson Silva with a big win as well. Maybe those two get together for a #1 contender fight in the heavyweight division?
We will see. I personally, I think we want to see Augusto again with another heavyweight fight before we select him for the contender. We will initially assess on this fight where he should be in the ranking, so we will rank him, but I don't think he will be immediately in the contender, because we have really top level guys who will be in the next contender for the heavyweights. But I think we can say that we have a potential new heavyweight, but let's first see what he does in the next fight. We will give him a more higher ranked fighter, and if he performs again like he did today, because I say we saw a great technique, but we didn't see too much of him. It's a good technique and it's always a knockout if it hits, but I cannot assess his level really good by this one technique. So to say he's immediately in the next contender is too fast.
I know that you guys have been in Chicago multiple times. Can you comment a little bit about how you feel about being here, and also did you have any other plans to be anywhere in the Midwest sometime in 2016?
Yeah, we like Chicago. We like coming here. There's a good fan base. There's a lot of support, even from the Comcast sports station here. They put our fighters on their afternoon talk shows. They've really embraced us coming to town, so love coming to Chicago. I'm from Detroit. I'd love to bring an event to Detroit sometime. So we've talked to the Fox Theater. I've done events at Joe Louis. I think they tore it down though recently.
They're gonna build a new one though.
Okay, so we probably can't afford that
facility.
new one. So.
Get the old one.
Yeah. So done fights at Joe Louis, and would love to come to Detroit if the opportunity presents itself. So that would be exciting for us. But I love the Midwest.